From the state of emptiness arises A, from which arise skull cups, each containing a hung. The syllables melt and turn into inconceivable offering clouds, undefiled nectar in essence, and a variety of distinct features in appearance. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I unceasingly take refuge. In the Yogin, secret mantra, and Dakini, the embodiments of the three wheels, and in the male and female spiritual warriors, I unceasingly take refuge. For the sake of all sentient beings, I will become Heruka and establish all sentient beings in the supreme state of Heruka. Shri is non-dual primordial wisdom. He is emptiness of causes and so forth. Ru is free from coming together, and Ka is nowhere abiding. I am glorious Heruka, the cause and benefit of happiness in all sentient beings. I appear as great glorious Cakrasamvara, My 5 aggregates are the 5 Buddha families, my 5 elements are the 5 mothers, and my sense sources are the bodhisattvas. From the life force syllable hung at my heart emerge 4 Sumbani mantras, black, green, red, and yellow. They emanate into the 4 directions and transform into an indestructible Vajra fence, ground, web, tent, canopy, and a dome of wisdom flames, becoming a vast protection sphere, solid, secure, and utterly terrifying. It is impregnable to obstructors, even to Brahma. The light radiating from the hung at my heart of myself, appearing as Haruka, invites the Guru and the gathering of Cakrasamvara deities into the space before me.
Cakrasamvara no samaye sarvata gata anurangana Sasova Kunjo Sonlada Jarje Depa Mega Sosreja Rove Gila Jiyaran Sanje Janjo Yejeso Sanje Chudan Sonjo Lai Janjo Parda Da Janje Tranje Donye Radoja Janjo Sene Jeparanje Chanjo Joga Simne Jijane Simje Namje Dage Chanjo Jinjo Ye Wanje Paraje Rola Benza Sanje Rola Konjo Somla Dajaje Dekwa Mege Sosreja Rove Gila Jiran Sanje Chanjo Ye Jeso Sanje Judan Sanjo Lai Janjo Parda Da Janje Ranje Donye Radraja Janjo Sene Jeparje Janjo Joga Simne Jijane Simje Tamje Dagen Drundanye Janjo Jinjo Yeonje Paraje Rola Benja Sanje Dravarjo
I take refuge in the three jewels and confess each and every wrongdoing. I rejoice in the virtues of beings and will hold the Buddha's awakening in mind. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly until attaining enlightenment. I give rise to bodhicitta in order to fully accomplish the purpose of others and myself. Having given rise to the supreme mind of bodhicitta, I welcome all sentient beings. I will practice the supreme bodhisattva conduct of acting with kindness. May I attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. The field of accumulation dissolves into me.
Dawa de mera songra jim parvesa namgata lo me jasara raten de na so be ma ja janve grum le re na so le ro jar me gan je wan barwa senye gun zo chera be ma dor je mera do je Deva na so chu je deva nye ma je de den den de da dun se se jen gro ve so yang sa so so ka ma ve ran re na da ge je jo be do ro je won je den won ba won zhe jian jian zhe ge dun je har de sa wo la den jen Danye sawo chanse danye yongse jir pa le jong we Ranye jom de de wen jo jir nam ka tang pen dan zhoi chen Shir je jin sun je wa zai je zhang sa dur je chen zhe we Tu gan ren je zai chen jen je rar pe do so jin jen ge Nur wen dun de na so dur je yon de da she de Cha nye do zhe yong lan ju chen xia yong gang ben jie 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 Go wo da zi ye ba jiang be dun zin nun me par ne la Da xian zhu xie tu lu nga jie du xir dan jie cha jia zhu Gun qiang ge ge nian dian ban de dur jie nan ju shi ren du Xir ji jing sun zhe zhen zang si tu ba gan bu ne zhe xian Cha yon tu pe du zi gang wa yao jian gu nen ju jian du Ye ba din zi dur jie zhi gu qiong nan gu lai de be zi yon xia jian xie ye ba yang zhe de nian jie zhou lan zuo jie ram zi jie mo cha la ji xie tu gang a jue do xie tang xia jiang a de ya yun ye gan cin bie zhe xian dao jian jiang gar bei me dar zi jie dang de toi jie nian jiu de er bei den de yon jia ye ba nan zhen kan zhuo la ma den jie ma zui jie ma na mo jia ma zhe xia jie jin sun ge bei xia jie zhe 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 tu gan wei jie gan bo nga jie do xia jie xia ye zhe ge nan kan xia xia yong bie du zha du gan zhe zhe mo ga zhang ge dan din xie de nian ge xie jie me zhe xia jiang a de wu zha dian la ye jiang ge jie ra dun jian san xue da de de zi pen de xiang ye gang wei du bei jian la neng zhe wu de de wang gan jin ba bie ma a ma bu nian ge na zu du le jie hong mo ye jie nian ge hong ha ge gu wu na ma he zi da ne ju zu zu ha he ma bu zha ba nie zhen bo zhe ai na ming ye hong hong ho ma zi yan la gun la pe wan yang ge yong jie de wa hong ba ma nian ge han yo ka du mo xian ka zhe zhe mo ge mo dang gu wu ren ren ra de zi xian jie zou hong huan yang ge jian yan la gun la pe pe de ge rab de zhen bei jie ren zhe.
Back to page 36. My body gradually dissolves into the awareness Hung, which then remains in space in the form of the nada string. From the luminous and empty natural state of all phenomena arises an intensely blazing protection sphere of Vajra ground, fence, tent, web, canopy, and masses of fire. At its center arise space, wind, fire, water, earth, and Mount Meru, upon which arise a variegated lotus and a crossed Vajra. At the center of that arises a broom, from which arises a great immeasurable palace made of various precious substances, brilliant and complete in its characteristics. Outside are spheres of lotuses and vajras, masses of fire, and the charnel grounds. Inside the palace, in the center of a multicolored lotus, is a sun disk with Bhairava and Kalaratri as a seat, upon which is a mandala of sun and moon and the white vows and red consonants. In an instant, the nada of my awareness enters it and transforms into a Vajra with a brilliant blue Hung at its center. Light emanating from it makes offerings to the Buddhas and benefits beings. The light gathers back and dissolves into the seed syllable. The moon, sun, seed syllable, and implement transform, and I arise as the transcendent conqueror Cakrasamvara, outshining the radiance of the clear sky. I have one face, 3 eyes, and bared fangs. My hair knot is adorned with jeweled dried skulls, bound by a garland of vajras along my hairline. The top of my hair knot is adorned with a jewel, the front with a crossed vajra, and the left with a crescent moon. Holding a vajra and bell in my hands, I am embracing the consort. With my left leg bent, I stand on Bhairava's head, and my outstretched right leg presses down between Kalaratri's breasts. I bear the 6 charnel ground adornments, a loose tiger skin skirt, and a garland of 50 freshly severed heads around my neck, and I display the mind moods of dance. On my lap is coral-colored Vajra Yogini with 1 face and 3 eyes. Half her hair flows down loosely, and the other half is bound up with 5 dried skulls. Embracing the neck of the father, her left hand offers a skull cup filled with nectar. The right hand, in the threatening mudra, fiercely brandishes a curved knife with a vajra handle. Her left leg is outstretched, and her right leg is wrapped around the father. Blissful and endowed with the youth of a 16-year-old, her beauty is extraordinary. She is naked and delights in blood, wears a garland of 50 dried skulls, and is endowed with the 5 mudras. The father and mother are adorned with the major and minor marks and silken scarves. Like the fire at the end of time, their blissful union of method and wisdom is magnificent. In front is blue Dakini, to the left is green Lama, behind is red Kandaroha, and to the right is yellow Rupini. Each has one face, 3 eyes, menacing laughter, bared fangs, hair flying loose, a crown ornament of dried skulls, and a garland of 50 dried skulls around the neck. In their right hands they each brandish aloft in space a curved knife, and in their left they hold to their hearts skulls filled with blood. A kadbanga is tucked into the crook of the left arm. Their bodies are naked and sensuous, and they are endowed with the 5 symbols. With right leg outstretched and left leg bent, they dance majestically upon corpses. In the 4 intermediate directions upon moon discs are vases filled with the 5 nectars and topped by skull cups filled with the 5 meats. At the forehead of each deity on a moon disc is a white Om. At the throat on a lotus is a red Ah, and at the heart, at the center of a crossed Vajra, is a blue Hung. At the father's heart are white Om Ha. At the forehead yellow Namahi. At the crown red Soha Hu. At both shoulders Lag Bab Sausat He, and both eyes crimson Hung Hung Ho, and at all limbs green Pe. At the navel of the mother is red Om Bam. At the heart is blue Hang Yom. At the mouth white Rim Mom. At the head yellow Rim Rim. At the crown green Hung Hung. And at all limbs great Pe Pe. Pem, pem, the light radiating from the Hung at my heart invites the Viras and Yoginis of the 10 directions and the empowerment deities into the space before me. The wisdom and commitment beings become indivisible. Om Sarva Tathagata Abhikinsa Tu Mom. Having been supplicated, the empowerment deities hold aloft faces filled with nectar and proclaim, just as the Buddhas were bathed upon birth, we will bathe you with the pure water of the gods. Saying this, they bestow the empowerment with the nectar, which fills my body and purifies all defilements, transforming me into the supreme nature of great bliss. The empowerment deities then dissolve into me. From the overflowing nectar arises a crown ornament of Akshobhya on the principal lord, Vairochana on the mother, and Ratna Sambhava on the four Dakinis. I offer to the mouths of the kind root guru and all the glorious holy lineage gurus, Om Ahom.
Om Radha Gada Anur Maza Soba Amago Ojon De Baba Wangbola Shanzai Karpa Jimbon Taye Medava Rabbe Zoje Juben Jimba Den Jeze Rajin Jesu Rong Wei Shan Shane was a don drum parva boy, Trata Shan Shan Don Tan Ka Chan Zen, Tage Babe Nazan Chang Wan Ze, De Wan Mi Jin Don Sun Ke Lai De.
Om, homage to the conqueror, the courageous Lord. I bow to you, who blaze like the fire at the end of a great kalpa, whose locks are bound up at the crown, whose face is terrifying, fiercely bearing fangs, whose hands, gleaming with 1,000 lights, raise a battle axe and lasso, and hold a spear and a katvanga, you who bear a tiger skin robe, and whose smoky color resembles great darkness.
Jun Den De Ma Dorjee Pa Mo La Ne Jan Za Lo Pa Man Je De So Yo Jin Je Mo De Re Pe Wan Shu Chen Jung Bo Tam Jin Jin Ze Gun Dan Be Ma Dorjee Je Mo Nye Dorjee De Ma Mi Pa Jin Je Mo De Wan Ze Yo Wei Jin Do Jan Gen Bran Ze Man Ji Se Rong Wei Chu Mo Se Je Mo Tra Se Su Se Rab Den Je Pra Se Jen Pa Re Le Jar Ma Nam Pra Jar Ma Mu Bran Se Jen Ring Dang Mung Bran Se Pa Mo Dor Je Pa Mo Nan Jar Je Mo Du Pe Wan Shu Ma La Jie Jie Wang Dang Gu Pe Le Je Dang Le Zhe Sen Je Zhen Pa Nye Jia Na Ga Dan Ju Ga Ga Zhe Lin Jie Dai Nian Pe Nan Jie Ma Xie La Xia Zar Da Ba La Su De Jin Xie Ba Xie Ben Ba Xie Dan De Zi Gang Wei Ne Zang Su Ju Be Su Jie Ne Ba Ye Da Xie Yin Mi De La Xiang Za Lo.
Back to 53. Om, homage to the transcendent conqueress Vajra Varahi, to the Supreme Mother of the three worlds, invincible awareness consort, who destroys all fear of evil spirits with your great Vajra nature, to you with controlling eyes, who remain like a Vajra's seat unconquered by others, who neutralize even poison, wrathful, fierce lady, bearing your fangs, terrifier, annihilator, who severs completely, who conquers all adversaries, all victorious one, conquering those who make us dull, rigid, and confused. To Vajra Varahi, great yogini, powerful lady, who fulfills all desires, I bow. Homage to the four heart yoginis, who represent the four activities of pacifying, enriching, overpowering, and suppressing, the four placements of mindfulness of body, feeling, mind, and phenomena, and the four levels of joy: joy, supreme joy, beyond joy, and co-emergent joy. Homage to inseparable method and wisdom, the four Tathagatas, such as the Unchanging One, abiding in the intermediate directions in the form of offerings, the four vases with skull cups filled with nectar. Inside my body, appearing as Haruka, are the three channels and four chakras. At my crown is a white hung, at my throat a white om, at my heart a blue hung, and at my navel a red ah. From the ah, wisdom fire blazes forth, burning away the syllables of the three chakras. From the hung, white drops descend, and restoring the three syllables, blissful warmth blazes forth.
Maraju Deva Maraju Yunjane Doranye Je Charjo Zavala Tempe Dedraju Meje Gorjo.
From the heart, hung at my heart, a mantra garland emerges. It descends through the pathway of the Vajra, enters the lotus of the mother, and rises through her central channel. It emerges from her mouth, enters again into my mouth, and dissolves into the seed syllable at my heart. In this way, it circles continuously.
I don't think I will be the appropriate person to ask questions regarding Cakrasamvara. I think best Drupon, because I myself have no practice of Cakrasamvara. So better to have your questions answered from one who has experience and practice.
Maybe if we have maybe tomorrow, if there are general Dharma questions, perhaps we can.
Yeah, tomorrow we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
actually, every single question is very it's usually a mix, but every question is about Cakrasamvara.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what is the nada string? So actually, I'll just say that the word, it is just the nada. The string is added in Tibetan. It's just nada. Nada garere.
Nada senati hong kangla. Nada.
So when at the very top. So with the hung syllable, then at the top of the hung, there's a circle, like what they call actually the zero in Tibetan. And then there's like a little wavy kind of tip or string at the top of that. And so that tip is what is called the nada. So are there differences in visualizations for these offerings? So Om Shri Heruka Saparivara Argam Praticha Soha, and then Om Vajra Argam Ahong. So dini yorwala pena chupa buwe kapla dini chupa bu tang kaka yorwala.
Zaite tata Om Vajra Argam Ahong sendwa. Boten chupa chinamchi.
Wode laso.
The Saparivara sen Horsan Jiba. That is a she source. Omjere herga sapara senat sapara kolodem chong hortan jibala ta argam choba tradenza so he source yam puve ke charo
Yini the chewe kabla mikpa chetang kaka yorwe.
Mikpa chetang se ite choba ta chinji lab ne. Choba to yabo se yati par chinji lab yarwa. Katare dorjen choyong se choba to zeng shizwang. Dorjen choyong chapsi ti ngobo dongba namba chilen chobe ze na so se chinji lab gore se lab song tare. Tarang yo nga so. Wa te chi ze ite ya ta te chinji lab chane ya phuwe ke chan sarwa.
So the difference with these two is that one of them is blessing the offering substances. So with the Om Bajra Aragam Ahung and so forth, then this is blessing, and so literally with the blessing the substances into their intrinsic nature of emptiness, that like they become the offering clouds of the offering substances, but empty in essence. And so this is the blessing. But then with the other type of offering, with Om Shri Heruka Saparivara Aragam Praticha Soha and so forth, then this actually here it is actually offering. So it's like saying to Cakrasamvara together with your retinue, please partake of each of these offerings. So that's kind of the difference there. So with one, you're visualizing that you are blessing the offerings, specifically with in the recognition of their intrinsic emptiness. And then secondly, you're actually offering them and saying, please partake, offering them up. So then the next question is, for the 16 offering goddesses, are they visualized as wrathful dakinis? What do they wear? Are they visualized one by one or in an entourage in the immeasurable palace? So Rigma, Deni Kongso Gari the Chapo? No, they're not wrathful, they're peaceful.
Yeah, did you not see? Tigor, Dagon comes to the last one. Thinking there was a law, and he said that Dagon's the last month to sanity to Shirayu Samari.
Dini Kongso Tulo Gare Gare Kongiore?
That you don't know, Parga that's also high what he got. This was a Danarwa.
Gabar?
Digan, Chubigan, it was after.
Oh, actually, so you see there are images of the offering goddesses here on the shrine.
Yeah, the Tambo is allowed
with the offering. So you can see what they're wearing.
Bewan Martin, Bewan Bra, Tambo, Bewan Labra, Bewan Martin, Momochi, Limuma Sermochi, Telingan Rupatunga, Limuma Sermochi, Nan Rutunyaji, Roa, Nandomato, Marmochi, Nandu Madunate, Zangas daughter, and Zangmo, Jang. What did you do here, Chash? Or then the Chani, Chashi, Tambo body, Soso Rumo to Soso Rumo Yora was or Rumotedon, Tamani body, Dorjee Chiusung, Tatambo Shete.
So first of all of these offering goddesses, they have one face and 4 arms. And in their first 2 arms, they are holding their musical instruments. And in their last 2, or the other 2 arms, they're holding a Vajra and bell. So of them, first you have the goddess of the Piwang or Vina, and she is blue in color. Then you have the goddess of the flute. So when we do the mudras, so first is the mudra like the Vina, and then is the mudra that is like playing the flute. So the goddess of the flute is yellow. Then the third is like the drum that's kind of the sideways drum, and that is red in color. She's red in color. And then the upright drum that is played like on an upright drum, she's green in color, the goddess of that drum. Then there, yeah.
Well, then that in Jotrala, Sheba Mamarmosek, Sheba, and a game of Kibikacharaba, or Sheba the Marmochi, Gaibati, Gaibama Momo, the Luma Sermo. Momo, Luma Sermo. Karman Jank. 我这样写就差些吧了哇，我他唐伯尼有了他的写吧嘛的给嘛你了哇，我的呢他的多吉送的是吧？差你多吉去送的，其唐伯尼不的。
唐伯尼巴的多吉。
他唐伯给吧写吧嘛的给吧嘛你不的，差唐伯尼多吉去送的其，差唐伯嘛的我差唐伯这人这写别给么给别打不着，但是有俺说，这给别娘其，这多吉去送的。
多吉当着不，所以不着我的。
但是那他是拉的，我但是我这起。这算提倡不？你不提起，我这年别去的，西别的年别去些，我他给把这给别那么讲这个了，我这起，我松帕的这话罗马生的话，罗马，我真的下长不你这等下，对不起，等下有了，等下等来些，我西巴嘛这开始西巴这他等下做这些说卡尔马生的话，我给这下长不你别过去的，别过，我真的。본인 오마제 예 토바데 용 창딩 산자마른 좀 와탄 자마른 좀 창딩 산자마른
당연
예 토바 용 창딩 창딩 산다른 좀 다른 좀 다른 뜻이 뭐라 했어요.
Okay, so actually I thought that all of them were holding Vajra and Bell, but actually those are just those first. Those first, was it 4 that we went through? Or 3 that we went through? 4. And then the next one, so is the goddess of laughter. She's smiling, she's red in color. And then the goddess of charm, who is blue in color, the goddess of song, who is yellow in color, the goddess of dance, who is green in color. So these all have one face and 4 arms, and so kongta de relation to
다 당보니 보더라. 개바 셰바마다 개바 니 라송. 차 셰요와. 차 저희는 시비 담아서 제 시비 찾아서 여러 개 먹이 찾아지지. 이제는 년배 찾아지 개바마다. 근데 차 니파 레도제 싶송지.
Okay. So for the first 2, the goddess of laughter, or who is smiling, she is making the gesture of kind of smiles or laughter, just like we do when we're doing the mudra. And then the goddess of charm is also making the gesture that is sort of that of with her 2 hands of charm, which is also what we do when we make the mudras. And then in their other 2 hands, they're holding a Vajra and bell. And then the goddess of song is holding her in her 2 hands, 2 of her hands, she's holding the tingshak, which are like the tiny symbols, the 2 tiny symbols. Dini de shimba tingshak mayimpa gare singyore.
다 담보데 시바티 차 다 좀바티 땡샤로와 시바티케 다 시바티 가서
이니양디 팅샥당디
다 담보데 라 아티니 뭐냐면서 다 시바티케 베코시데와 카르마테.
So then the goddess of dance is making, with 2 of her hands, she's doing the mudra of the offering lotus.
다티 켐바데 다다 차 고냐니 보데 차 오마니 보데 예
and in there, for these 2, and the other 2 hands, in the right hand, they are holding a skull cup, and in their left hand, they're holding a hand drum.
pushte jag med tog jag andra ge dompa mare till dopuma det kan då ta sig tog kan då och dopu pusen nåt som det chi på pusen nåt det man med som det chi 최자 마데 det tongchi då göra tongna chulo ja och
So then we have the goddesses, the goddess of flowers who is white and she's holding like a vessel filled with flowers. Then the goddess of incense who is gray and is holding a like vessel, an incense burner with burning incense. Then there is the goddess of light who is holding butter lamps. Then marme kato karere?
Marmo.
Who is red. And then there's the goddess of scented water or perfume or fragrance who is white in color and she's holding a conch filled with scented water. Oh no, she's red, sorry.
That's also chance your method, the boo that is on your or the chi. You want a tambo tobata, the katamka.
And so they're in their first two hands, they're holding each of their offerings, and then in the other two, in their left hand, they're holding a skull cup and with a katvanga in the crook of their arm, and in their right, they're holding a hand drum.
Oh, that in you tell meloma, meloma, the garmochi, garmo, do garbochi, then Roma. Meloma garmo melon song the lens, a charge melon song the chi. Or then Roma senata, Roma sayat, the royal take over what it was young. Chan looks in no dance, no dance looks in no song the chi. Or then the Regiamate, or Regiamate in junk, the Coco Naso song. The Chuin Dorjee, Chunju, Uncle Naso. Chuin Dorjee, Mara, Chunju. Dharma that said what that chunju so the cha say the year cha by the song the Dhamara. Yon chani bought the Tobana, Kadam song. That is Rimaju, that in the one, and I won't say it. Kadam the Dhamar, Kadam the
so Dangpo ni
Tambo the so chance and now Chunjung the Chang no data or the Rija to call the Chunjung T song Yorua. Say J ticket the Galas Damar Yorua. You want it? Toba the
Kadamra. So then we have the goddess of mirror. Or that's the Rupa Bhatsara. So it's like a mirror, that mudra. And she's white in color, and she's holding a mirror in one hand, and then she's holding a vessel of like dutsi or nectar, honey in her other. And then there is the goddess of touch. And she is green in color, and she is offering various, multicolored cloths and garments of various colors. And then there is the goddess of the Dharmadhatu. And so that is, so the goddess of touch, who's offering the garments of various colors, that's with the mudra saparshe, what's like holding garments. And then with the goddess of the Dharmadhatu, that's the when we say Om Dharmadhatu, right? And so that she's holding a Dharmodaya, and in the other two hands, they are all holding. In the left, a skull cup with a katvanga, and in the right, a damaru. And in their first two, they're holding each of their offerings. So all of the other attributes, you can see and you can familiarize yourself with these and what they're all holding and offering, the different implements, by looking at the images. And dini ngato mikba chedu kongso pena rere shindu mikba cheya yorebe yangna kongso tsangma nyamdu pena shayi.
Tarere shindu ngato ma tonsrwa. Tonsondun dongom drama rasta kurang kare o maza venezina venetiki choba pekore. Watendu rere shindu ma rosona. Na da ze gom jado mari ma dongom drama chisu.
So actually what we can do is with each recitation, then we can bring to mind each offering goddess and we can visualize that they're actually offering their particular offering. Okay, and then the next one is on page 52 and 53 of the sadhana, it says, this Dini Tupa Rewate Chomden Pawo Wambo La Chaksalo. So de Kala Yang de Pena Dimcho Yang. Wait, let me look at it.
ane tin nang zhi te dem chuo cha ma bo le je yo wa ti gang ji la gu wa ta gang ji sa te ji tang dem chuo to ba je wa te dem chuo cha ma bo le ti gang do sa ri
Cha mambo
ta cha
ji
she cha ju ni ma le te na do ba sa kare ji de ji
de kakare de chapsen ma so pa kakare kado kakare
she de cha ju ni ma le wa ta
she cha chuni. So he answers the question before I even read it. So the here, there are many different versions of Cakrasamvara. Did I read it in English? I didn't read it, did I? Okay. On page 52 and 53 of the sadhana, it says, Chomdim Pawo Wambo La Chaksalo. And then it says, whose hands gleaming with 1,000 lights raise a battle axe and lasso and hold a spear and a katvanga, you who wear a tiger skin robe and whose smoky color resembles great darkness. So Cakrasamvara isn't described with these implements or with a smoky color elsewhere in the practice. Is this referring to a different deity, or is the description different here? So he said, actually, this is a praise of the 12-armed Cakrasamvara, so 4 legs and 12 arms and 1 face. So there are many. Oh, Shilji. Oh, okay, not 4 legs, 4 faces. So Shilji. So not 1 face, 4 faces and 12 arms. And so there are many different types of Cakrasamvara with like different numbers of arms and so forth. So this is describing. So this is describing this particular emanation or version of Cakrasamvara. So then, if we are doing the practice daily outside of retreat, do we do every part of the full 100-page sadhana? Also, could Rinpoche please clarify the numbers of the different mantras again? So, ngato nima rere shindu nyamlin cheya yena. Dini pena dupta de chatsang doya yorebe pena shodrang ja.
Chatsang dina.
Sam madina.
Tata tetong de. Jadang go shogi go sama dong wa. De tu
Sam gikola lakumendo pena nima rere shindu. Sam ma dewe kabla. Sam lama debe kabla.
Sam madib kabla. So
if you can do the whole recitation in your daily practice, it's better.
Sumsurungane om subawa juda sarvadan masuba shandwa tri mango so tene nyambaza de duremchi taya dan rige.
So if you do not have time, however, you can begin on page 35 with the Swabhawa mantra, then go through the generation stage, and then on page 35, and then recite the mantra, for a time, then do the dissolution, and then arise again in the form of the deity, and call it a day. So also, could Rinpoche please clarify the numbers? So, kongso teesa go tom yorwa de nyemba gatse sayayana pena nga re la. So
nyemba bom shishire sala imba khalsa.
So re.
Ter bom shila so yab jin nyemba ni bom shishichi. Kan dorje pamo nyemba ni yorwa ter chishichi. Chishi. Kan ro shi chishi.
Yeah, okay. So, just to clarify, what he said is the two mantras of the Yap, the essence mantra and the quintessence mantra, are 400,000 recitations each. And then the two mantras of the Yum are 40,000 each. And then each of the 4 dakinis are also 40,000 each. So it's 400,000, 2 or 400,000, and then all of the others are 40,000 each. Yeah, so that's correct, right? Yeah. Okay. Please explain how to direct the movements of the winds and the 3 channels during our private practice. I don't know if this is referring to like when we do the visualization on the tumo burning the seed syllables, or if this is just in general. So I think I need a little more explanation, maybe. Sanyi do to. Okay. So dini chitang ngato rang soso rang nyamlen chedu ha dini chawa sum yorwa chawa or chasum de chasum nangla de lung do tang gande chego kare
ane ta jodon ta na ngato dumo gumdang da je dowa te 제단에 아주 주로 나제 여러와 주로 나한테 드라마도 여러와 이렇게 다다티 제단 아주 냄초원 들어와지 요 티나 카지요 요 말이로와 되게 깔마봐 다다 매초도지 그 냄초지 요래 대다 아주 대공 냄초원 동다 집관으로래 동다티 참아 이나티 이게 매초도지 티 들어와지 요 티나라 티 자티 공탕다 제 있어这讲的 我这其中要做听第一项出入的多那第三天蛮大是多我第一那他提怎么叫可能在新桌上听录音那确实吧提纲我这开始有时那他这里多他咋做是可罗些那咋做没了咋的这趟去那他也罗马这个我也是听了
也罗马卡波
用讲嘛都嘛我也是听你我对新这么多了我真的原来他奇怪的那种呀，我妈的，他我妈的话，我们接触那上的书的话，这期的呢，他那里看着，他罗昌人的路马去呢，这边能发送的去。
哦，对你的。
这边 sorry。
他
罗昌人的那屋送的那屋去，那里马去呢，他那这边我说起这里，把我们能收的去。
So chikbado. Chikbado.
다 집안 오는데 되게 니도 되게 집안 오는지. 어제는 집어 잔다 숨속니 요래서. 콜로시스야. 너가 잔고 탐보트 집어 잔다 숨속니. 대 칸도 아까로 오래서. 짐바다 주로 오래서 말고다 집안 오는데. 어떤 인가데.
짐바 말보 당주로.
네. 인가데 지 요라데 안서 오래서.
인가지.
대 대바데 축지라 요라데.
서보.
서보. 대바데 축지라 니 된지 않고. 맞아. 대바 말에. 니가데 원보로 와. 니가데 원보지.
원보.
대바데.
서보.
서보지 축주 리뷰라.
데니 죽주 레지 아니.
레레.
레지.
어따데 발라셔나 다네 지도 말데 시다.
So he's kind of just going into actually how we visualize the channels. So this is according to So when we practice, so it's a little bit different from, for instance, when practicing the 6 yogas. But here there is a commentary by Karmapa Rinchen Dorjee on Cakrasamvara, and it's pretty much the same, the description there, but there are some slight differences. So he says, so we visualize the 3 channels, so and the 4 chakras. So one difference is that here the right channel, the Roma, is white, and the left channel, the Changma, is red. So that's a little bit different. And then at the central channel, which goes from the aperture of Brahma, and it goes down to the secret place, or and this is the same. It's blue in color, and about 4 finger widths below the navel. So the 2 side channels go from the nostrils of the nose. So on either side, and they go up kind of around the brain, and then they go down parallel to the central channel and hook into or enter into the central channel at that base, which is like the 4 finger widths below the navel. So this is how we visualize the 3 channels. And then there are the 4 chakras. So first there's the chakra at the crown, which has 32 branches or channels coming off of the central channel. Like the chakra itself has 32 sub-channels, and it's white in color. Then at the throat, the chakra is red, and it has 16 channels. At the heart, the chakra is blue, and it has 8 channels. And at the navel, the chakra is yellow, and it has 64 channels.
I'm calling them chalk more exact in a harm got go on towards the end. See, or then the Dawa, Dorjee Pomo, the Chi, Archie, or Jiwa Ham, think go on toward the end. Zangmo to Marty's cup of the Chi. That Zangmo, you don't mark cup of Yan.
Oh, the Gandhi.
Jiwa. The Jimba Omi Garboji was Jimba Om like Dojiwa Ham, Jimba Om Zandwa, Jimba Omi Garboji, Jimba the yard danding, yard dancy. Then you got whom you won't boji. On toward the
Young.
Whom you go toward the Zate, DC, whom you won't boji. Eva.
So ye get wrong.
Or the year was the Gila.
Oh, right.
Zangmo. Or then the Dawa doing Colola, that in Yamala, Swarship, Atunction, a check-on as a Ratambo, the Dorjee Pomo, wanted. They were some, they were Swarship, Sassum Dola, Sassum Dola, Atuns, Dorjee Pomo, what a make on your water. That they were Ajichi, they were
So Tewa wrong.
They were Zankorji or a Tivula, Zankor Tivula, Ajichi, I am Marble. What and shit in the arcade.
But they may Barsa young digi or the old.
What in the Dangarans with the long sauce on the laundry. The song do they were the was horse, the Rochani, and so they made it on bar. What that's it?
So then we have the syllables. So let's go to the page. Shodan garede.
Shodan.
57. Thank you. So 57.
57.
So then at the crown is a white hung that is inverted. So that is the image of the hung there. And it's in the center, so you have each of the chakras that are kind of coming off of the central channel. So it's in the central channel at the center of the chakra. The hung is hanging there upside down from the crown chakra. And then at the navel, so at the 4 finger widths below the navel, you have the Ache, which is the essence of Vajravarahi. So that's below, like the 4 finger widths below the navel, where the 2 channels, side channels, are entering into the central channel. So in that space there where all 3 converge. And so then you have, we have at the throat a white Om at the throat chakra. And so the chakra at the crown is like a right side up umbrella. So it's like right side up. And then at the throat, it's like an upside down umbrella is the shape of the chakra. And so you have a white Om, which is right side up. And then you have, and then at the heart, we have a, the shape of the chakra is like a right side up umbrella. So the branches are, in other words, the branches are pointing downward. And so therefore the hung is upside down, it's inverted. And then at the navel, and this is not the point which is 4 finger widths below the navel, but the actual navel chakra. And there, the shape is like a inverted, so it's like an upside down umbrella. And so you have the right side up which is red there in the center of that chakra. But then beneath that, you have at that point where the 2 channels are entering into the central channel, you have the essence, the short or the half the Ashe, which is the essence of Vajravarahi and the nature of fire, and that is what is burning and blazing, and or which is the nature of fire. It's blazing and burning the other syllables. So then as that fire blazes, then it burns away, and it burns the a syllable and the hong sungimbe. Okay. Yeah. So all the 3. So the 3 syllables, the a, the hong, and the throat syllable, the om. And then as the fire blazes up further, then the heat causes the hong at the crown to drip. So then from the inverted hong, there's the dripping. And then through the dripping of the hong, that restores all of the other 3 syllables. It brings them back to their original vitality. And then from the ashe at below the navel, light rays stream out and gather the blessings of the Buddhas, of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and bring them back, bringing in the blessings of Vajravarahi and cause the fire to grow stronger. So di yang utu and sorry, I forgot. Actually, before I go into this, I want to say something else that he said, because it answers the question about the movement of the winds, which is that when we breathe in through the 2 side channels, and then the winds come down, and that is what causes giving wind to the ashe, which causes the ashe to blaze. So I just forgot to say that before. Then he said, in the same way that from the ashe, which is the essence of Vajravarahi, the light rays stream out and gather the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and in particular Vajravarahi, and brings them back to the ashe. And then from the hung at the crown, in the same way, light rays stream out, gathering the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and in particular, being the essence of Cakrasamvara, the blessings of Cakrasamvara, which dissolve into the hung. So then, and the main thing is to focus on the visualization of the ashe at the navel and the blazing of the ashe, because all of these other details, if we're not strong in our visualization of them, or if it's difficult to maintain, then mainly we just focus on that. Why is Vajra Yogini red? Dorjee Nadorma Kato Marpo Yemba Garayana.
Roa Jes Chabaris, no, Dorjee Pomu, the Yuanazo.
So in the recollection of the purity of the deity, it is said that she's red because that symbolizes her passionate concern for sentient beings. Dini the top young Tongyop Akijum Sengarena.
Changdong the Jitang Zaro, Choi can this Changdong Sen, the Tankurwa Janso Chan, Zisho, the Bankurwan Jom to ya, Kurbe Simchantam, Kuraya, Tare Lampu to ya, or to do no Changdong Chan, or Tankurwa to be Dungayo, Kurwa Janso said Dungarak Janso, or Tozoya Dungal, Tare Lampu to ya, the Changdong Nafus. Timeon Cha, the Samari.
So the reason why she's drinking blood is the blood represents. So she's like drinking, emptying the ocean of samsara's suffering. So that is what the blood represents, is the suffering of samsara. And so it is like she's emptying out the suffering of samsara, bringing sentient beings onto the path of liberation and awakening. And then what is the meaning of the curved knife and the katvanga? So the meaning of the curved knife is the eradication of subject-object dualistic fixation. Dini katvanga? So when Vajrayogini is singular, she has the katvanga, and that represents the yab, or the male consort. And then is the nectar that she is giving him compassion. Dene de pache tupe ta gita insare yene adela dutsi de yavla dutsi yang bubala gare de dutsi gingo ningje rebe.
Dutsi kalase.
Yavla dutsi bugire. Dene de dutsi gingo gare. So the nectar is the essence of bliss, the indivisibility of bliss and emptiness. All right. So here's a question. I've heard that in Rochester, you have taught the application of skillful means in relation to concentration. I'm not new to Buddhism, but I feel that my concentration is poor. When I recite mantra, I often forget about the mantra, reciting it mechanically, and I find myself thinking about other things. How can I attain enlightenment if I cannot concentrate? Can you please share some of the methods which you found helpful? Actually, this could be. Dini di chi Rochester la pepdu. Dini dinda kosong. Chi something gom goa ge yang menga yapo nang yore. They something ke chimbo sim se chipo la ne tu ba la be ke chimbo yore. Dinda dawa sung song. Dinda kong kosong. Dini kong yun ringpo nangpe chu nyamning chegi yonayang dadung te sim se chigba shira ne tukiyo mare samtin yang gitingi zin che tukiyo mare dini chitang nga rangwe katla te nga yang gikorla dimba jegi yore yang te namto rang samsam la jesu rangi yore te dundak dramanda shimba gikorla samlo tangi yore dini de sim tse chikpa la ne tupa gi tapshi yaksho garere.
Ta sim tse ze ne tuya tapshi yaksho ta zo teng nga zo zonju go shore. Zonju chenpo tse chenpa ma yin cheba zonju yin zong duwan jitian zong go. Wa ta yin du chenpa ma yin ma ta tse zonju chi go shore se. Wa ta nga zo mang che se yin song du ten nam to ji yin zhang tene so se sim tse je ne tu shore ma le se. On samsang ji dang teng azo an samsang xin ne da guam tenju chi yu tenju tu su dan teng azo nyam de xiang ko ka yu na qi nan zhi wa azo samsang xi ga go di cha jia na da nan zhi de sa jia xin ba yu zi ge ba o xin ne da guam azo nyam tenju samsang tenju chi yu wa wa ten du an tenju gang la pian nan zhi shi da da azo tu su xi ta men de wa
So mainly the way, the best way to cultivate concentration is diligence. It really comes down to diligence, really having the diligence to pull the mind back when we become distracted, and to really be determined not to lose our mindful attention. So it's common that, the mind wants to follow after. There are lots of thoughts that arise, and then we want to follow after those thoughts. And so it's important to have kind of a strong resolve to be diligent and not just following after the thoughts, but really coming back to the visualization. And also, he said what would help is to, also cultivate your calm abiding meditation, to sometimes practice shamatha. If you have the time and the opportunity to do that, in Chicago, he also has shamatha practice regularly, so you can join him online. So sometimes they have, they schedule shamatha practice, so you can look online at Chicago Ratna Shri's website and you can join. Or also there are other places that, teach shamatha and have shamatha retreats, and you can also practice with them. But it's good to cultivate shamatha as much as you can. It will help. Oh, this was for Shuraka.
She was giving teachings in Rochester.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. It did say Lama Dawa. I didn't even see that on top. Yeah.
Someone in Rochester's uncle who was saying that she was giving very detailed
Yeah.
how to.
I'm sorry, I completely missed it. Yeah.
She was giving teachings from her own experience, how to use the concentration and different skillful means. So she asked me to write this question.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was for.
Okay. So there is. La. Did chitang tiyo marawa, dila tido, yini anga chune tayo marawa, gongda. So he was just sort of scolding me for, not asking the question to the right person. So I do apologize for that. I just didn't even, I was just thinking all the questions were for him, and I didn't even register that it said that. So my sincere apologies. So question about the shrine torma. If I wanted to accumulate dimchok as a daily practice for a long time, could I make a shrine torma from clay or even use a photo? Dini de soso nyamne che gona ni marere shindu. Dini yang torma yun ringbo de gona dini jucha clay gare la gogre dampa ne zona degrebe. Yang par pechutena degrebe.
Par pechutena degrebe.
Yes, so you can do it with clay, or you can also use a photo. That's fine. Dini garsi tsarna, dini dampa ki torma di gande chego. You should just keep it. So the next question is how to dispose of a clay torma, and he said you should just keep it. Don't dispose of it. Please describe the appearance of the wisdom and commitment beings and the empowerment deities. What do they look like? Dini ye shepa dang dam sekpa kungso gande do de namba gande do de zopta
zo shepa te dang kolo dem chwa ta so so ji dam sei ba te dam sei sen na da so so ya ji ba dam sei ba se ye shepa te ye she ne so jian chwa te she ba ji dam sei ba de so so ji dam sei so ji ji wo me yo ra.
So the form of the wisdom being and the commitment being is the deity, like in this case, Cakrasamvara and the retinue of deities. So the wisdom being is the outer manifestation of Cakrasamvara and retinue, and then we are meditating on ourselves as Cakrasamvara, and that is the commitment being. So the appearance is the same. The appearance is that of Cakrasamvara. Dini wangi la ge zota ganredo. And then it says, what are the empowerment deities look like? So they are the empowerment deities of the 5 Buddha families. So the Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families. What exactly should we visualize when we chant the quintessence mantra and the essence mantra of Vajrayogini? Dini Niening nga dombe katla mikpa chetam. It's so the visualization of the mantra is the same. Also, deni yang de dorje na dorma gi de or de yum ge nga so wo yang chikbar. Yes, same with the Vajrayogini mantra.
So mikpa chi du chikpa nga thera the tong du thera gum ro.
La. So when you're doing the mantra recitation, then the main visualization is that of the mantra, and however it is that you're visualizing the mantra circling. What are the 7 aspects of the supreme Vajra body endowed with 7 aspects? So this is on page 88.
88.
Yes, the 7 aspects. So dun yenla dun garere.
Yenla dun ne sumyu do jin chang zhen. Dian zong na Recitation do zang ye zai ma zai lo ku ba.
So these are the 7 attributes of the indivisible Vajradhara, and there's an explanation of them from Lord Jigten Sumgön. So the first aspect is the is the indivisibility of space and primordial wisdom or primordial awareness, completely free from all elaboration. So this is the first aspect, which is empty of true existence or substantial nature.
닝제지 용암세 동바치나 저교사리 제 야명시 조르스나다 카조 양 동바데 닝제 카조르 바세 카조르시 나지 야나지 좀 봐라 저는 시바세 가서 상미 대화지데 듀르 용스 칸데 상미 대백 듀 용스 칸데라 대천히 하 대바친비야나 저는 어떤 남가단 전티 준친 조지메데 준치 미바데 주인미치비야. 남가 사다냐면 전에한테 주인치만 돌래. 주인치미비야. 전에 지당 다 메네베 양양 대사르잖아. 이나 탐나 소해다. 메네베 양양 대사나 메네베 양양 요라. 상지사와 어떤 대사나 이나 탐나 소해. 두제 통제바. 어떠니 다 두제 통치하던 가도냐 고 투비하면 고원로야면 고바면 원고바면 비야스 어떠니 닝제 교용스가
직전에 대처 드러나 되기래
아
당보 되드러나
오케이 다 사주한도다
네
되네 고바면 야라와 되네 닝제 용스 칸데 다데 닝제 용스 칸이 야나 닝제 줄레 용스 칸데 용제 야나 야나 되면서 다
di nga pa ma. Okay, dumba. Gongda nga.
Zangmo longqiu zuobi, zai da lab sa shuang xiang da. Zene longqiu zuobi yan la qi ruwa. Dong ka jiu ji yan la qi ni qi ruwa. Chen ju mi ji yan la qi song qi ruwa.
So then the second one is the so the enlightened body of primordial wisdom or pristine awareness, which is endowed with all of the major and minor marks, the expression of the great vehicle or the Mahayana manifestation of, to benefit beings through the Sambhogakaya form. So this is the second attribute, which is the attribute of the Sambhogakaya form. And then the third is the indivisibility of emptiness and compassion. So this is the attribute of union. So the union of the Yab and the Yum, the Yab representing compassion and the Yum representing emptiness. Then the fourth is the undefiled, the ongoing, the full. Dechen yana, the sumba de. Oh. So then the fourth is under the full pervasion or the fully pervading undefiled bliss. So it is the attribute of great bliss. Then the fifth is from the namka. So it is the space-like, all-pervasive and unbroken continuity of enlightened deeds and enlightened activities. So the kind of immeasurable expression of enlightened activities. And then the sixth is
Many been young and days are in a time of talking to Jet on the yard. Tell them go for me. Go on Royal, but tell them go for me.
So it's the attribute of like unimpeded, of unimpededness or the uninterrupted expression again of activity to tame those beings who need to be tamed. So in having, even though one has reached the state of Buddhahood or enlightenment, and abides within non-abiding, or has reached the state of non-abiding nirvana, and yet there is the uninterrupted activity to benefit being spontaneously. And then the seventh is the attribute of Ningjegi. So then it is the attribute of like the fully pervading compassion. So this is how Lord Jigten Sugumgan explains the 7 attributes. Yeah. If Rinpoche was going to do a personal Cakrasamvara retreat tomorrow, when reciting the mantra, would he say Om Shri Banza or Om Shri Vajra? So this is just a matter of pronunciation. So some people say the mantra a little bit differently than others. I think I'll just add Banzara is more or Banza is more Tibetan pronunciation. Vajra is Sanskrit. Right.
Sanskrit is just on Mandasti, so that so you Sanskrit that so Hong Chong and Makachi use these Mandas that Randon that these Mandas to get Karina.
So he said actually the situation with the pronunciation is that so Vajra, there are different pronunciations in Tibetan of Vajra, and those vary somewhat in different areas based on the type of Sanskrit that like migrated to that particular area of Tibet in the past. So you can't say one is right and one is wrong. When doing a Cakrasamvara retreat, when is the best time of day to do trukor? Kasi dimchok samla dena dene trukor gadu de pena. Yeah, there actually one doesn't practice trukor with Cakrasamvara. So he said the way you can practice trukor here is sitting in the posture, assume the posture of the trukor, the 7-point posture of Vairochana, recite the mantra with your speech, and rest your mind in meditative absorption or samadhi, and then you're practicing the trukor. Where does Cakrasamvara reside? On page 65 it says Akanishta, on page 88 it says Kechara. Dini pena shodang dukchure ngala de ugmene ne dini jachu jajela de kachu ne tido dini kachu ne ugmene re.
Ta omine no omine shi shon kachu de dan karaina. Yang Taba Stone Ominera, Rinkashubina, Rakarina. Yang Taba Mantona, Hakoya, Mare. Never just a second. Yang Daton, Ominis, Kotapa, never just a second. The Yang Tabin, Ominet, Pomotrek, the Namshu said about Pomotra Shuksate. The Kajan to do
Shuksakare? Namshu.
Kajaki don't do Pomotra net, Ominet on your essay. Kajak don't do just a second on your essay. That's so.
So really, actually, whether Akanishta or Kechara, the meaning of this is like the completely pure realm And if one has pure view, then it is Akanishta or Kechara. And if there's not pure view, then it's neither one. But if it is said that if one has pure view, then even the hell realms can become the pure Buddha field of Akanishta. So they're not actually physically like physical locations, but this is really referring to the pure Buddha field or the pure realm of that is held by pure view. And so Pagmodrupa, the place where he resided, called Namshuk, he said some see this as the pure Buddha field of Akanishta, and some experience it as like the fiery realms of the fiery hell realms. So when there's Milarepa, there's a story, where Rechungpa was having a dream, and in this dream, there were these Dakas and Dakinis who appeared to him, and some were saying, "Oh, Milarepa from Akanishta, Milarepa who resides in or they were saying, who resides in Akanishta? Does he reside in Akanishta?" And Rechungpa said, "No, Milarepa's in." Oh, his thought. He didn't say. He thought, "Oh, Milarepa's in Tibet. He's not in Akanishta. He's in Tibet." And then the Dakinis said to him, "You're really disparaging your Lama. You don't have pure view. Wherever it is that Milarepa resides is Akanishta." So this can did So we finished all of the questions and. The mantra revolving around the hung at the heart of each dakini radiates light. From these rays of light, deities emerge who then act for the benefit of beings. The light then gathers back and dissolves into the hung. The light radiating from the Hung at my heart gathers the protection sphere and charnel grounds into the immeasurable palace, which dissolves into the 4 Dakinis, who dissolve into the mother, who dissolves into the father, who then dissolves into the Hung at my heart, which dissolves from the hook at its foot, upward into its body, the body into the head into the crescent moon, and finally that gathers into the nada string. The nada too dissolves and becomes imperceptible, subtle within luminous clarity, even and vast. Once again, like a fish leaping from water, I arise as the great glorious Heruka, with one face and 2 arms, whose magnificent form appears clearly but is empty, like a mirage. From the state of emptiness appear wind, fire, and a hearth of skulls. On this from A arises a vast and wide Kapala. Inside that from B, Ra, Ma, Mu, and Shu arise the 5 nectars, and from Na, Go, Da, Ha, and Ku arise the 5 meats, marked with Hung, Brum, Am, Jim, and Kam. Through purifying, realizing, and flaring, the substances become a vast ocean of wisdom nectar. Pem, the light radiating from the Hung at my heart, invites the conqueror Cakrasamvara from the pure land of Aganishta, together with myriad Viras and Yoginis, to come here to the space before me. On the tongues of the assembly of the deities of the 5 wheels are white vajras the size of a barley grain. The torma is offered to the deities by moving it in a circle, to the left for those in the cardinal directions, and to the right for those in the intermediate directions.
Bezaragan Samaya Sada Rejaya One Bezara Lewa Zawa Baiva Bezaragan Samaya Sada Rejaya One Jirahera Sabare Vare Agambade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Padem Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Puban Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Divan Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Alogan Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Bande Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Nevede Bade Sasa One Jirahera Sabare Vare Shabda Bade Sasa
I bow to glorious Heruga, great hero, utterly pure Vajra Lord, and to Vajra Varahi, passionate one for those with great passion.
Gombo tu je che ya je je len pra je be tu je je da lan zui je la mo nam je shen de je zhen ze do so.
Equally victorious over attachment to existence and peace, you have conquered all conceptual thoughts. You see the even, space-like nature of all phenomena. Protector, may your nectar of your heart, infused with your compassion, drench me. Goddesses, please care for me with your great love.
71. Om Beza Heroga Samaya Manda Balaya Heroga Denoba Tejandra Jo Membawa Suduga Yo Membawa Anora Do Membawa Subeja Yo Membawa Sarva Sede Membraya Sarva Karma Sesame Siddha Jaya Guru Banga Kama Meza Heroko Bhavama Samaya Sado 80.
The wisdom beings dissolve into myself. I appear as the transcendent conqueror. At my heart are white Om Ha, at my head yellow Namahe, at my crown red Soha Ho, at both shoulders black Bausat He, at both eyes crimson Hung Hung Ho, and at the limbs green Pe Hang. By this power, virtue, and by the power of whatever virtue is amassed in the 3 times in samsara and nirvana, may I and all beings without exception, limitless as the sky, accomplish the victorious King of Delight.
86 in English.
Exalted Supreme Deity, victorious Cakrasamvara, if I practice you with one pointed devotion, let your compassion neither wane nor be indifferent, but swiftly reveal your delightful sublime face. Through practicing the key points of settling in a state of controlling and binding the channels, winds, and drops of my impure illusory body, may it become free from obscurations, undefiled and clear, and may I attain supreme accomplishment in this very life. If, due to a lack of fortune and diligence, I am not freed in this life, then at the time of death may the assembly of Viras and Dakinis of the 5 wheels, such as skull pieces and the rest, receive me with parasols, victory banners, a symphony of music, and various offering clouds, and then lead me to the pure field of Kichara. There may I behold the face of the victorious Haruka. In that field may I practice diligently the supreme swift path of secret mantra, and thereby cleanse the 2 obscurations and all karmic traces. May I accomplish the unified state of the supreme Vajra body endowed with 7 aspects. Although I may attain the Dharmakaya for my own sake in this way, out of immeasurable compassion for all mother beings, may my 2-form emanation show them the teachings of the supreme vehicle, and thus may I swiftly establish them in the state of the Vajra holder. By this virtue may I swiftly accomplish the divine assembly of Cakrasamvara deities and establish all beings without exception in that state. So tomorrow, Ratna Rinpoche will be answering questions. It's a really precious opportunity that he's here. And so please ask whatever Dharma questions that you might have, maybe just in general, not specifically related to Cakrasamvara, but general Dharma questions. Mm-hmm.